Welcome back to The Explainer. So today we have a genuinely uplifting and honestly transformative piece of source material to unpack. We're looking directly at a very specific, highly impactful text. This is ACIM, Lesson 168. Now, if you've been following along with this material, you already know just how profound these daily lessons can be. But today's text, it is especially beautiful. It's literally all about shifting our internal state entirely from fear over to absolute peace. Okay, let's dive right into this. The whole lesson revolves around one single, completely game-changing statement. And it goes like this: Your grace is given me. I claim it now. Now, this isn't just some passive little thought you have, right? It's an active declaration. The source material is inviting us to deeply internalize this idea. The idea that there's a profound peace, a grace that already belongs to us. And our only job? Literally just to claim it. But before we get to the solution, we really need to talk about the problem. Have you ever felt like peace was just distant or completely hidden from you? Well, the text openly addresses this very human condition of despair. We so often feel this deep sense of separation, don't we? This feeling that love, or the divine, or true inner peace has somehow just abandoned us, or is making itself totally impossible to find. Section 1. The illusion of distance and why we feel separated from love. Now, what's really interesting here is the source material makes a super bold claim. It says that this distance we feel, it's entirely an illusion. Like, we tend to think that when we're in despair, God or the universe has just turned its back on us. But the text paints this incredibly stark contrast. It actually says we try to hide from him and suffer from deception. But the divine reality, he remains entirely accessible. God makes absolutely no attempt to hide. Actually, it's us. We're the ones trying to hide. We build up these massive walls, we fall into deception, and because of that, we suffer. But through the whole shebang, the divine presence remains completely, 100% accessible. So, to explain exactly why we do this, the text uses a really specific metaphor: sleep. Now, just to translate this for you real quick, the source material isn't talking about physical rest. It's not talking about taking a nap. Sleep here is used as a metaphor for living in a state of fear, illusion, or deception. So when the text talks about a sleeping mind, it means a mind that's actively hiding from love. It's completely wrapped up in its own anxieties and these illusions of separation. And that naturally leads to this incredibly comforting reassurance. The text states, when his mind remains asleep, he loves him still. And when his mind awakes, he loves him with a never-changing love. I mean, just think about how powerful that is for a second. This love is entirely unconditional. It doesn't depend on you being perfectly enlightened or perfectly awake all the time. Even when you are completely caught up in that sleep of fear and anxiety we just talked about, that love is constant. It literally never fluctuates. Section 2, Awakening to Grace, the answer to all despair. So the text introduces us to grace, and it defines it so beautifully as the answer to all despair. It's described as a freely given gift, waiting to be acknowledged, that sweeps away the cobwebs of our sleep. I absolutely love how the text frames this. Grace isn't some reward you have to grind for or earn through perfect behavior. No way. It is already given. It holds the actual remembrance of divine love, and it's the exact antidote to every single form of despair we could ever experience. And here is just how accessible this really is. His grace is yours by your acknowledgement. That's it. You don't have to climb a mountain or do anything crazy. The divine has already carefully preserved this gift right there within our hearts. Literally, all that's required for the memory of this love to awaken in your mind is simply asking for it, just acknowledging it. The language used to describe this moment in the text is just so wonderfully intimate and soothing. It says, but finally, he comes himself and takes us in his arms and sweeps away the cobwebs of our sleep. This tells us that, while we might have to learn a whole lot of lessons along the way, this final step, this ultimate return to peace, is taken by the divine itself. It's a huge relief because it's not completely on our shoulders. We are literally lifted up out of our fear. Section 3. A New and Holy Day. Receiving what has been given. The text gives us this massive sense of relief here. It says our faith lies in the giver, not our own acceptance. I mean, how often do we stress ourselves out because we feel like we just aren't accepting a spiritual lesson perfectly? We sit there and think, "Ugh, I'm not doing this right, my faith is way too weak." But the text says our faith doesn't actually rely on our flawed human attempts to accept the gift. It relies entirely on the perfection of the giver. The grace works because the divine is perfect, not because we are. And this brilliantly illustrates the internal shift the text is asking us to make today. It lays out a super simple 3-step process. Step 1, we acknowledge our mistakes. Step 2, we ask for the means to lay them down. Actually, let's pause there. Notice we don't have to know exactly how to fix everything ourselves. We just have to ask for help from the one to whom all error is unknown. And step 3, we rise in gratitude and love. We just let go of the heavy burden and accept the grace that fully restores our memory of love. And when we do this, the text says it fundamentally alters our vision. It says, "For in grace you see a light that covers all the world in love, and watch fear disappear from every face." Grace literally changes how we perceive the world around us. When you're operating from a place of genuine grace, you stop seeing enemies everywhere. You stop seeing threats. Instead, you start seeing a world covered in love, and you finally recognize that everyone else is just looking for that exact same light. Section 4, claiming your grace today and putting the lesson into practice. So, the absolutely crucial point here is returning to our core lesson. Your grace is given me, I claim it now. This right here is your anchor. This is the exact phrase the text wants us to use to just slice right through the illusions of the day. Now, as for your daily practice, the text actually doesn't give a strict, rigid number of times you have to say this. There's no set quota. Instead, the instruction is to just weave it continually throughout your day. Repeat this prayer whenever you can. Use it the very second you feel a spike of fear or anxiety. Use it when you feel totally overwhelmed and just need a moment of peace. Basically, use it as a tool to instantly return your mind to a state of love. Whenever you feel that metaphorical sleep creeping back in, you use this phrase to wake yourself right back up. And the text concludes with this really beautiful, full closing prayer. Your grace is given me, I claim it now. Father, I come to you, and you will come to me who asks. I am the son you love. I highly encourage you to just let those words really resonate with you today. It's such a profound reminder of your inherent worth and of the constant, unfailing support that is literally always available to you just by asking. I want to leave you with this final provocative question taken straight from today's text. What remains undone when your forgiveness rests on everything? Wow, it's an incredible thought to carry with you, isn't it? If you can just let forgiveness and grace rest on every single thing in your life, what could possibly hold you back from perfect peace? Take that question with you today as you practice this lesson. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer on ACIM Lesson 168. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want to keep exploring these powerful concepts with us, please make sure to like this explainer and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another one. Until next time, remember our core lesson. Your grace is given to me, I claim it now.